The lawyer.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Time is 4:01. Let's call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Chairman Benjamin Peña.
Here.
Vice Chairman Gerardo Gonzalez.
Here.
Treasurer Frank Orozco Jr. Secretary Anna O'Quinn.
Present.
Board Member Anchor Jensen.
Here.
Board Member Dr. Joe Hinojosa.
Present.
Board Member Antonio Bernuz.
Here.
Treasurer Frank Orozco Jr.
Here.
Chairman, there were no public comments.
Thank you. We have a quorum. First item for consideration is the consent agenda. Unless anyone has any items to pull for individual consideration, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I so move.
Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Next item, staff reports, community engagement impact, space and energy initiatives update, marketing and communication, strategic plan and business development, business recruitment, and executive report. Community engagement impact.
Oh, thank you.
My apologies. Good afternoon, Chairman and members of the board. I would like to share a brief progress update on behalf of Natalie and also highlight the results of a Careers and Coffee event, which Natalie and I coordinated together. Over this reporting period, Natalie completed 3 business retention and expansion visits with local employers. Natalie and I also met with the Texas A&M Engineering Extension Services, TEEX, to explore additional training and workforce development opportunities for our employers and residents. Strengthening this relationship allows us to connect industry with high-quality technical and safety training. We also participated in the TEDC 2025 annual conference in San Antonio, where we engaged with economic developers from across the state. While there, we connected with several communities interested in learning more about how to develop an industrial park and connected them with Eleazar so they could continue those conversations and strengthen relationships with GBIC. In addition, Natalie attended the VITA graduation for the Level 2 electrician class, demonstrating our ongoing commitment to supporting training programs that prepare residents for high-demand, high-wage careers and supply talent to our local employers. I'd like to briefly report on the Careers and Coffee Expo, which Natalie and I coordinated. So 67 employers assisted, and participation was around 5,000. So these are some of the feedback highlights that we actually got from the survey that we send out to the employers. So 100% of employers were satisfied with the overall organization. 80% were very satisfied and 20% satisfied. So the future participation, we had 86.67% very likely and 13.33% likely to participate in future job fairs. We had, they reported the candidate quality. So we had 93% rated candidates excellent or good and 7% average, none below average. So applicant turnout, employers reported between 0 and 200 plus applicants each, with several noting 50 plus of applications. Do you have any questions?
I have a question on
Of
the
course.
TEACS program. How did it go that?
TEACS?
Yeah.
It's the Texas A&M
Yes.
engineering program?
Mhm.
Yes, they have, oh, how did it go? Yes, very well. We learned a lot about their programs and what they have to offer, so that we're able to share that with our employers. So we learned that they have safety, they have cyber security programs, they have a one-day forklift, right? So, and this is for everybody that is a resident in the RGV. So they give them these free classes.
But they're building
They're building,
at the port. No, they're doing some development at the port. It's a huge investment that they're doing. Do we know what they're going to be doing there?
well, I think they're building a school.
Yeah, but is it going to be the same classes that they're teaching right now, or are they going to increase the number?
They're trying to increase the number of the classes that they have. Some will also be on online courses that they're going to be giving.
I think it would be good to continue to maintain that relationship there and see
Of course.
what else can we develop with programs with them.
Yes, definitely.
I have a question on the Vida electrician. Where was that hosted, the graduation?
That graduation was hosted at the Osana Center.
Okay.
Yeah, Osanam Center.
And this is the training graduation, like they graduated from the
From the
class?
VITA program, yes, for that electrician.
Okay, and how many graduated, do you know?
I don't have that information, but I will ask Natalie. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it could have been 13 students.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
But I will give you that information when she gets back.
So you're mentioning like that there's like one-day training and certification, things like that. Is it something they sign up for, or do they have like a day where they host this and then people show up? How does,
For the TEACS,
yeah,
yes, they have to register.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you have to go on their website and you put in your name, your information, all of that, and then you register for that particular course.
one thing, and that goes to marketing, is like maybe we could have something on the webpage that leads people to there, like a resource page that tells them like, this is where you can sign up for things. That might be,
Yes.
would be good.
Mhm. Any other questions?
But
Yes, Mr.
we've supported Vida for a number of years now.
I'm gonna,
Sorry?
it's kind of hard, a little bit hard to hear. You need to turn on your microphones. Or
I
board
put
members.
it in my mouth. There you go. Can you hear it now? We've supported Vida for a number of years now, and we always ask them to report back on how their students are doing and how many of them actually get jobs afterwards. Do we get the reporting now?
I'll answer that question. So Marlene is working on community outreach. Workforce is with Natalie. But as far as Vida, they usually, they provide the quarterly reporting. They are meeting the numbers. I will say that the graduation ceremony that they had for their last cohort was pretty nice, and there were some pretty compelling stories about the people that went through that program. At the next board meeting in December, or if not in January, we can provide an update as far as where they're at for the year.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next item, Space and Energy Initiatives update by Joanna Rangel.
Good afternoon, board members. I'd like to just expand a little bit on a couple of questions you guys had. As Natalie and I are kind of going through a training for Bree and kind of get her, familiarized with the different programs and kind of how the Bree program works with these organizations, so with TEEX. So in the past, we've been able to, and actually within the past year, we've been able to connect TEEX with our local employers so that they're able to maximize on these free trainings, right? So Rich Products is one of the many examples where we've been able to connect them and they go and train in the green belts and lean, all the different programs that they have, and they still continue to do that till this day. We were there recently with the site selectors and they were able to provide that update as to how the training is going, and they've been continuing to add more and more because they are expanding their training program as well. So as Natalie continues, to do her visits, we make sure that, she has the ability to connect the employer with these type of organizations. And so in this past month, we were able to take her to Workforce Solutions Cameron as part of her training so that she can learn about the different grants, the different opportunities that we can work together with workforce. And again, provide that assistance to the employer. So most of the time, they're looking for assistance in, new employees, they need training, they want interns, and so they need the funding. Workforce has it, right? So just leveraging that connection with them, with the employer is really what we do, right? Connecting them with the employer organizations that are able to assist them with them. And so that was actually part of my update on that. We continue to do tours, introductions with Vida as well, so that she's able to familiarize herself with the trainings that Vida does. And so she was able to attend this electrician graduation. So that is part of the funding that GBIC provides, right? So it's great that, she's being involved with that so that we know where our funding is going to. And so that's just a prime example of the training funding that's being used. In addition, I just want to highlight the high demand job training grant. It was finalized October 31st. So they are wrapping up the final reporting. I believe Natalie will be able to report that on the next board meeting as they're gathering all the information, how many were trained, placed, the success or, the misses as well for that training grant. So just wanted to provide that update for you all. We're also working with Bryce and 2 local employers, SA Recycling, STX Metals, to get up and running a P-Tech program for a local high school, which is Bryce. We are a partner, we're part of the organization and the planning of this, and they're putting together a welding and engineering pathway for these high school students, starting from 9th grade to obviously seniors, right? So we're part of that process, we're part of the partnership, so we'll continue to work with them to ensure that they're providing, the right certificates. So I was telling Eliasar this morning that, just in engineering, they're looking at, what are the programs that are being used right now, right? So CAD is something that, obviously it's still being used. So high school students can be able to graduate with that certification. So they're already ahead of the game before they even get to do their engineering degree or certification. So those are the type of initiatives that we're working on and supporting. And then STX Metals also had their graduation on Monday. So this was a small grant that we provided to them so that they can train 20 pipe fitters for the demand with LNG and Bechtel, right? As we know, they need tons and tons of pipe fitters, and not only, high-level pipe fitters, but also helpers. So these are level 1 pipe fitters that are able to get trained, and with the connection that STX Metals has with Bechtel, and of course, our connection, they're able to hire, throughout the course of this program. So now they're working on placing these students, so we'll report back in the next 6 months where these graduates are. We're hoping that they obviously stay in Brownsville and continue. As Bechtel just gave us an update as to obviously the new train 5 has been announced. So more trains are coming, right? They're submitting for permitting for trains 6 through 8 in January, so that process starts again. So they're gonna need more and more pipe fitters, more and more, employees. So we're trying to get ahead of that and make sure that our community is being ready with the certification so that they're able to get to, the, what do they call them? The journeyman, which is where you end up getting paid the most, right? So just wanted to highlight those things for this past month. Any questions?
So STX Metal Trades it's a cohort or what is it? Private-
It's a training program, a training school, I'm sorry, that we actually awarded them last year in our mixer as Entrepreneur of the Year. He put together this training school and has done a phenomenal job in training through partnerships with Vida as well, providing level 2 training. And so they were in need of more funding for more level 1s to continue to go up the chain. And so that is what STX Metals is doing as well.
So how many graduates do you have this summer?
20.
20.
And that was just in a span of 3 months.
Wow. So each cycle is 3 months and then you're gonna.
Yes, sir.
3 months and then, okay.
And do we have any idea of how many like Bechtel and all them would want or need?
Mm,
Well, what I'm wondering
bunch.
is it a drop in the bucket or could we get a bigger bucket or help them grow to a bigger bucket, things like that? That's what's.
Yes, we absolutely can. But I believe, the reason for just doing these groups is because obviously we want to make sure that they go into level 2.
Yeah.
And so the better prepared they are, the more chances they have to get hired and the more of the pay, right? And that's what we want. So we're hoping to, support possibly level 2 in the next couple months, depending on how successful the placement is for this cohort.
Yeah, I think what Frank is saying is, are we keeping up with their needs with respect to the amount of people that we're pushing through?
Oh, absolutely. With the,
Hold on.
go ahead.
Hold on. So let me take a step back here. It is a drop in the bucket. I mean, because we have huge projects right now, SpaceX, they're looking to add more people. LNG plants, they give us our latest numbers. They're about to increase by another 2,000 employees, and that's one of 2 LNG plants. The next one's coming in, several thousand employees. And then some of the other projects that I'll report on are also looking at thousands of employees. It is a drop in the bucket. We're making some headway, but it's not enough. So we are working with our workforce partners as well as private sector to try to figure that out. Now, that is across the board just throughout the United States. Workforce is an issue throughout the United States. So our colleagues in other parts of the US, they're saying the same thing. The problem is that we have these huge projects that are just, huge demand, huge strain on our workforce right now. So we're in that situation right now, trying to figure it out. So we just can't crank them out fast enough.
Yeah, and I think that's like speaking to STX, like is the amount of how many people are you not accepting due to capacity issues, right? To understand, no, we had 50 applications, but we could only train 20 of them, So understanding that dynamic to see if there's opportunities there would also be, interesting because if they're just not cranking them out because they just don't have the capacity to do so, that's something to look into and something that we may want to figure out as well.
Absolutely, we will. Any other questions?
But is it a funding issue, or is it or there's no people that are asking for those trainings, or?
No, we have the people. People are asking for it. They are receiving funding, again, through Vida and ourselves. But it's only Jason at the moment who's doing the training with this
We don't have the staff to train them.
more than, correct.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he is,
The constraint is the training, not.
It's not the funding.
Pipeline
it's
in
the-
or-
it's-
correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And just as a reminder, with the high demand job training grant, there was also funding for pipe fitters. So we will report on the placement and the success on those pipe fitters as well. Not only is STX Metal Trades doing pipe fitting, but TSC is doing pipe fitting, ACE is doing pipe fitting. So we see that the demand that obviously this project needs, and working through the different organizations, we're trying to meet that demand.
How much are we supporting per finished candidate? I mean, when she's finished training, how much do we pay to get a pipe fitter trained, for example?
So in this case, it's about 5,000 per person to be able to go through the entire program.
And it's 3 months
Yes, sir.
for pipe fitter one.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And it's all grant based. So do they repay that or do they pay for the training?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
So it's all grant based. So does the employer pay for the training or?
So it depends where they go, right? So with STX, obviously the funding came from us for these 20. With the high demand, again, half of the funding came from us, the other half from TWC. But in this case, the employer is not paying any of the cost for the training.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is the average pay for pipe fitter level one?
As a helper, right now it's about $20.
An hour?
Yes, $20 an hour. Yes, sir. Mhm. Yeah,
Now,
that's just to start with.
now, do you know the fail rate? Any of these,
I'm having a hard time hearing you. I'm so sorry, sir.
do you know the fail rate? How many of those individuals that may flunk out of the training?
For STX metals, they have a 0% fail rate. Every single of the ones that have gone through the training, Jerry and I were actually there at the beginning of the year assessing the training that he provides, and every single person passes their certification and every single person gets placed, whether it's at Bechtel, whether it's at the port, but they get placed.
Okay.
Let anyone fail? We noticed that when we were there. I'm sorry. I think we noticed that when we were there. And he doesn't just train those that need training. He also trains from the halfway homes that are, at the halfway home. I won't go into any further. He graduated 3 from the home there. The director of the home was there and talked very highly of him, especially some others that have been trained before that. I actually spoke with Jason and said, how can we grow your business? Because he's really out of a garage is what he's doing it. We said, there's ways that maybe we can start working with you, providing you with some SDF grants, how else maybe we can do internally to help you grow your business. Because he makes them where they pass. He actually had 2 recruiters from Bechtel at the graduation. They wanted to be there. One lady was hired on the spot and her son was already being interviewed. So he does a very good job. And one of the things he promises his students is, if you get laid off, you come back to me and I'll put you in another job. And if you get laid off from that job, come back to me and I'll put you in another job. So he's probably one of our top guys doing 20 students every 3 months. So
Jerry,
it's a good program.
So what you're saying basically is if GBIC had a training center at the tech park, it would be used fairly well?
Quite possibly, yes.
There's a need for that, right?
There is a need. I think we've spoken about that at length. Yes, sir.
Classroom style.
Yes, sir.
Gilberto, you mentioned a drop in the bucket. Do we have numbers? Do we have actual demand by companies on what they need versus what we can supply?
If we have ballpark numbers, right now, we're looking at about
How large is the bucket?
4,000 plus jobs that are out there
And
available.
how many
for-
people are we training?
How many what?
People are we training average?
20 per quarter.
About 20% of it. About 20%.
That's just that training, right? That training provider. There's other organizations doing the training.
Locally.
We can gather that information and absolutely report that back to you all.
I think that'd be really good to know. I mean, just so from a strategic planning, long-term vision, that focusing on training doesn't seem like a bad bet right now. And
Absolutely.
so if we could have those numbers so we can analyze them and understand them, I mean, it'd be very, very helpful.
We will work on that.
And probably explore grants or see if the big companies have foundations that they want to match the funds that we provide, so that they're also vested in the training part. So So you enhance the program a little bit more, and it's not only us funding the program, so
Yeah.
it's more participants.
Absolutely, we will do that. Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Thank you, Mr. Castillo.
Next item, Marketing and Communications by Marcela Sainz.
Good afternoon, board members. So in October, the 21st through the 23rd, we hosted our first familiarization tour. We hosted 6 site selector consultants, and we gave them a tour of our community. Thank you to all of you that were part of it. We, after the tour, we sent out a survey, and I want to share the results with you. They were very impressed with everything that they saw. We got a 4.8 out of 5 with perfect scores for logistics, hospitality, and planning. And what's most important, 100% said the trip changed their perception of Brownsville's business climate. So it was a success. We also had our second focus group with site selectors. We have an advisory committee that this is the second time that we meet with, and we pitch something to them. We talk about certain marketing initiatives that we want to do, and they help us refine them. And so there are a few things there that we're already implementing after that second successful meeting that we had with them. Social media, we're doing great. The promotion of Careers in Coffee helped a lot. We got to 4,000 followers on Facebook, and everything keeps growing.
Question. You say everything, we got Instagram, LinkedIn. When you go to the city of Brownsville main page, you have a bunch of different departments there, and you have BCIC, but we are nowhere to be found. You might want to look at that.
I'll look into that. Yes, thank you. Marketing and PR, I was in Austin to meet with the French delegation that was visiting Texas. We first connected with them when we went with the governor's office to the Paris Air Show, and then we did a side trip to Lyon, France. We met with several companies, and this was a great opportunity to connect with them again. Careers in Coffee was a success. We had, like Marlene said, around 5,000 people. Also very happy with the collaboration that we did for the marketing and promotion with the city of Brownsville. We got lots of media coverage as well for that event. And last but not least, SpaceX released an economic impact report, and our president and CEO was interviewed, as well as a county judge, to provide, like comments on the news. Thank you.
Next item, Strategic Plan and Business Development by Griselda Munoz.
Good afternoon, Chairman and members of the board. This is just a brief recap from our board retreat this past October 25th. Working with GBIC, so this is the plan that we have, as all of you require, not to lose momentum. So we will be using those guiding principles that you see on the screen. We will assess the progress, ensure alignment, and identify opportunities. We will continue have the participants, the board, our staff, and key partners as needed, including the Port of Brownsville, BCIC, Brownsville Airport, PUB, TSC, UTRGV, and the city of Brownsville. And this is the schedule that TIPS put together, like I said, as a request of the board to continue the conversation. So our next meeting is Q1 of 2026, and that will be focused discussion on implementation progress and emerging opportunities. And as you see, we will be meeting every quarter, And then we will be meeting once at the quarter 3, which will be deep in the strategy. And then next page, quarter 4 will be a year from our past October 25th meeting. The goal there is to highlight the successes, identify lessons learned, and recommend refinements for year 2. Questions? Thank you.
Excuse me, do we have any plan how to act on stuff we discussed in the retreat? Like, do we have an actual kind of a business plan to get that moving? So we have something to talk about in our next quarterly meeting?
Yes, there is with tips, and Gilberto and I have a meeting with them before we release that information in preparation for the next meeting.
So
Yeah.
we will get that at one time or another.
Yeah, it's my understanding they're gonna prepare a report
Right.
with actionable items that's gonna come back to the board and we'll evaluate, and go from there. I think we've already started addressing some of the things that we've seen and we've identified at the retreat. We started to take in steps towards addressing a lot of some of
Correct.
those, not all of them, but there's certainly a lot of work to do with respect to our overall strategic plan, and we'll continue to, but we are getting a report.
And we might present it next month or in January, because next month's meeting is going to be probably a long one because of the some of the projects that we have. So it just depends, but we'll be ready by then.
Yeah, we can read it over the Christmas holidays.
Sure. Thank you.
Next item, business recruitment by Jerry Briones.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. So we did have a busy week. Marlene. So these numbers are actually incorrect. And I guess the presentation, I didn't send you the correct one. So if you'll just do that, I will go real quickly over our numbers. Under the governor's RFIs, we received 5. We submitted 1 RFI. We had 10 external and in-house leads. We had 3 international leads that came in. We had a total of 19 leads. In process, we have 13 leads of those 19 that were submitted. And I'll go over some of those here in my next events and conferences. We had a meeting with Project Chiquita in Houston. They celebrated their Christmas earlier based on their faith. It went very well. It looks like a project that hopefully we can do some things here pretty quickly. We also had a meeting with the Tokyo Metropolitan Government a couple of weeks ago. Out of that, we've brought those 3 international leads. We will be having some Zoom meetings with them over the next couple of weeks. We are also in conjunction with them. They will be coming back in February with an additional 3 companies, which will be touring some of the locations that they find interesting. We're hoping that out of that Zoom meeting, we can create enough interest where they will want to come and visit Brownsville. They'll be in Houston. We also are working on a trade mission to Tokyo, something that Gilbert has brought up several times before in the past. And in this occasion, this was a great opportunity because they actually have 35 companies that are looking to come to the US, specifically Texas. So we're hoping that we can go and make some inroads there. We had a meeting with the governor's staff, and we also had a meeting with Linda's site selection team a couple of weeks ago. We had a meeting with the Texas Lyceum president-elect a couple of weeks ago. And on Monday, we met with Adam Gonzalez from COSTEP. There are some initiatives they would like for us to work with them, and things are going pretty well as far as some of the things locally and regionally as well. That's all. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you. I apologize for the mix-up there. We'll make sure we clear that up.
Thank you, Jerry.
Next item, executive report by Gilberto Salinas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Following up on what Jerry was reporting on, tomorrow we're actually going to be in Houston. Mr. Chairman, you're going to be with us as well, visiting with Project Chiquita. So we're now towards the latter stages of the project. Again, this is a tier one supplier for SpaceX. They're looking to create 200 to 300 jobs. It's $20 million in capital investment. And a lot of it is going to be really in equipment as well as machinery. So that's good as far as our tax conference here with the city of Brownsville. We're hopeful that this will be the first official tenant for the Greater Brownsville Tech Park. Project Gondor, we've been working with both the Office of the Governor and the Port of Brownsville. It's a major project and it's a very, very sizable investment. It's in the billions of dollars, and specifically for the port, they need access to the water. We are in competition with 2 other states. And again, this is one of those projects that I like to refer to as a game changer. Obviously, we've seen it with SpaceX and the LNG plants. This would be that next game changer for the region. Hopefully more to come as the project progresses. Talking about the governor's office, in a couple of weeks, we'll be there meeting with the Economic Development Division from the governor's office, providing them a community update. We actually did that a year ago. Coming back and now providing an overview on some of the projects that we have, some of the leads that are being generated, local trends, workforce, like some of the programs we were talking about here in a little while ago, and then availability of industrial space. Those are all things I'd like to learn about all of our communities. We've also asked the Port of Brownsville as well as Cameron County to join us in this meeting to show that we're working together as a region. Marcela mentioned the site selectors. We hosted 6 site selectors actually last month, and it was our first official FAM tour with the site selectors in Brownsville. They came in from different parts, including one from Europe. The port actually is already working with that one site selector out of Europe. They're going to be visiting with him in Germany here in the next month. So that's a good sign. And again, part of our strategy is to showcase our city, change some perceptions, because for site selectors, a lot of them said they hadn't been here in 20, 30 years or had not been here at all. So their perception of the area, unfortunately, is whatever they see in the news sometimes. And also it's an opportunity for us to learn, what are we doing right and what are we not doing very well. In closing, Griselda mentioned our board retreat, so that was last month. We had some pretty meaningful discussions about the big picture, the vision, not only of the organization, but what we want Brownsville to look like here the next 10 years, and our role as a driver of growth for this region. That's, at the end of the day, that's our job, to drive growth here for the area. So we'll be presenting that, as I mentioned earlier, it might be in December or in January, as far as the strategic plan, and now moving forward for the next 3 to 5 years. That concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the board? Good report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, staff, for the wonderful work that you all do. Those were really excellent reports. Looks like we're on the right track, doing great progress, and there's more to come. Thank you.
Next item, discussion, consideration, and acknowledgement of the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation financials presented by Salvador Villalpando.
Good afternoon, board members. Today we'll be going over the financials for the first month of fiscal year 2026, which is October. The total net position is currently 40.5 million with 40.9 million in assets. Within our assets, we have 281,000 in cash, 26.3 million in investments, 663,000 in receivables, which is the sales tax for September, and 13.6 million in capital assets. Liabilities are currently 356,000. As mentioned, net position is 40.5 million. Within our net position, we have 26.9 in operating fund and 13.6 million in our capital asset fund. On here, we have the budget to actuals comparison for the first month. Being that it's the first month of the fiscal year, there's not much activity. Fiscal year 2026 is a column in green. As you can see, there's no sales tax. That information will be available next month in December. Once that information is reported, it'll be reflected within the financials. For context, we collected 599,000 in the first month of last fiscal year. We have earned $91,000 in interest for October and $248 in miscellaneous revenues. Total expenditures are $242,000, with $216,000 in operating and $25,000 in initiatives. We do have a deficit of $151,000 currently, but as mentioned, once the sales tax is reflected, we should have a surplus for the first month of the fiscal year. On here, we have the sales tax comparison for fiscal year 2025 compared to fiscal year 2024. For September, we did have a strong month, 6% increase. Total collections were $663,000. Total collections for fiscal year 2025 were 7.8 million, which is exactly a 3% increase compared to the previous fiscal year, and we collected 2.2% over what we budgeted for fiscal year 2025. Lastly, we have a visual of the sales tax history over the last 5 years. We've gone from 6.11 million in fiscal year 2021 to 7.83 million in fiscal year 2025. That translates to a 28.2% cumulative increase over the last 5 years. And then on green, you see what we budgeted for fiscal year 2026, which is 8 million. And that's about a 2% increase compared to actual collections for fiscal year 2025. That concludes the financials.
Any questions from the board?
So one thing I did notice, and I guess that on me for not realizing till now, but so we pay property taxes on the parkland. Just keep in mind that when we do get to a certain phase in construction, those taxes are going to go very, very high. I mean, I think right now they're probably appraising them at around 19 to 27,000 an acre. It's going to be very significant. So just so we're prepared for that. I don't think it's going to be a bank busting or anything, but just something that we could.
Yes, sir.
We should be just aware.
Any other questions?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to ask the board if we can move agenda item number 9 till after agenda item number 11. And then with that, we will go to agenda item number 10, executive session. You want to read the required?
Closed session pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071, 551.072, and 551.087, related to update on current projects, Project Industrial, Project Chiquita, and Project Era.
I have a motion to go into executive session.
So motioned.
Second?
I have a first and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We're in executive session. The time is 4:43. Everybody in place?
Yes.
Can I have a motion to reconvene into open session? The time is 6:06.
I so move.
Second?
We have a first and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are in open session. Agenda item number 9.
Discussion, consideration, and possible action to clarify the GBIC Board of Directors' action taken on the special meeting of November 6, 2025 regarding action item 1. Discussion and possible action to reject all bids received from the RFI electrical package electric infrastructure development at the GBIC Industrial Park due to being non-responsive. Presented by Jose Luis Caso.
Good evening, board members. I had an opportunity to review the packets.
Mr. Legal, just for the record, I'd like to note that myself and Board Member Gonzalez will be recusing ourselves from any discussion and any vote on this matter, and I'll turn over the chair to Treasurer Orozco.
Duly noted. Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Orozco, so this is an item that I requested. I had an opportunity to review the responses. I made a finding that they were not responsive. And for that reason, I'm requesting a action item to reject all the bids that were received and essentially close out that particular proposal until further direction from the board.
Noted. With that, I'll entertain a motion to reject.
I so move.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Agenda item number 11.
Consideration and action, if any, including but not limited to the adoption of board resolutions related to the items discussed in executive session. Update on current projects, Project Industrial, Project Chiquita, and Project Era.
At this point, I'll entertain a motion for 11.1, update on current projects, no action. 11.2, Project Industrial, proceed as directed in executive session. Project Chiquita, no action. And 11.4, Project Era, proceed as directed in executive session. Now a motion?
I so move.
Do a
Second?
Any further discussion with respect to executive agenda items? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries. There being no further agenda items, can I have a motion to?
Motion to adjourn. I said a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We are adjourned.
Also, given that it's the last of, it's going to be the last meeting before Thanksgiving, I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving as well.
Thank you, Chairman.
Happy Thanksgiving to all the staff. Huh?